Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Batu, and today we're going to talk about allocative efficiency. So what do we mean by allocative efficiency? Well, allocative efficiency is a situation in which the output of each good is produced in such a way that its market price and marginal cost are equal. Equivalently, it requires that all goods be produced to a point where marginal cost of that good equals to the marginal value of that good in each industry. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do again another set of graphs where I have we have two goods. Let's call these goods, come up with the name of a good. Well, I thought of two goods, pizza and beer. So what a great combination, right? So I have pizza and beer, and let's assume that our economy produced these two goods only. So you have pizza and beer. Now, how do we depict the production possibilities for pizza and beer for this economy? Well, we have to construct what we call the production possibilities curve. And I'm going to sketch that in this side. All right, so now we have here our production possibilities frontier, or production possibilities curve. So this curve gives us the combinations of pizza and beer that this economy can produce. So let's say at point A, so point A gives us PZ1 amount of pizzas and B1 amount of beers that this economy can produce. Now we know that if let's say we have a point here that's outside the frontier, it's not feasible because there's no way for the economy to achieve production at this point right here. Now, below, the firm or the economy can produce amounts of goods below the frontier or below the curve right here, for example, but this is not efficient. So the efficient point is at the curve itself, for instance, point A. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sketch the marginal cost and marginal value for producing these commodities, pizza and beer. All right, so now I have here my two graphs, but they're not complete yet because we're going to sketch it in a while. But what I have here is the beer market, and I have here the pizza market. And let's assume that our economy is producing at point A. So at point A, our economy is producing B1 amounts of beer. So let's assume that at B1, our economy experiences what we call allocative efficiency. So we will assume this. So allocatively efficient. Okay, this is assumed. So I will assume that suppose point A, the economy is allocatively efficient. Now, what do we mean when we say allocatively efficient? What it means is that the marginal cost for producing beer and the marginal value for beer are equalized. So what it means is that here below is that our marginal value curve for beer, think of MV beer as the marginal value of beer to society. So you can think of it that way. And here we have our marginal cost for beer. Now, allocative efficiency requires that MV beer equals to MC beer. Now, we also need information on pizza. Okay, so we said earlier that point A is allocatively efficient. Now, the question is this: how do we transmit the information from this side going to this side? So I'm going to use a graphical device here, a 45-degree line. So this is where the magic happens. So if I have here PZ1, and if I'm going to transmit that information in this graph over here, and I'll call this PZ1, so the value for PZ1, since we have a 45-degree line, then it will be the same PZ1 right over here. Because it's a 45-degree line. At all points along the 45-degree line, our y-axis is equal to our x-axis. And then now we can transmit this information below. And as we have indicated earlier, that in order for this economy to achieve allocative efficiency, the marginal value for pizza, and I will call this MV pizza, is equal to the marginal cost for pizza, right here. So now we have these two markets. So we have the market for beer, market for pizza. At point A, the marginal cost for beer equals to the marginal value for beer. Marginal cost for pizza equals to marginal value for pizza, allocatively efficient. Now, what happens, say the economy decide to produce more pizza and less beer? Well, when that happens, let's say we're at point B over here. At point B, the economy is producing more pizza, and I will call this PZ2, and the economy is producing less beer. I will call this B2. And again, we use the same trick. We have this broken line right here, all the way here. I will call this B2. Similarly here, we have our broken line from here to there. I will call this PZ2. Connect to our 45-degree line, PZ2, and all the way here, PZ2. Now, there are some things here I want you to observe. So what are these? Well, let's look at this graph right here. At B2, which is bigger? The MC for beer, which is the marginal cost for beer, or marginal value for beer? So in this case, clearly, we can see that the marginal value for beer, which is right here, is larger than the marginal cost for beer. So I'm going to indicate that here. So we have MV bigger than MC. So in this case, there's not enough beer in the economy. And we don't want that, right? So there's not enough beer in the economy. Now, if we look at this side right here, we see that the marginal cost for pizza is bigger than the marginal value for pizza. So MC greater than MV. And what's going on here? The economy is producing too much pizza. So our conclusion here is that at point B, it's not allocatively efficient. Similarly, if, for instance, the economy decide to produce more beer and less pizza, so now we have PZ3 and B3. And we use the same trick as before. We use these broken lines all the way here, B3. Connect this information to our 45-degree line, PZ3. Okay. 45-degree line, PZ3, and all the way here for our market for pizza. Now, at point C here in our production possibilities curve, what's going on here for beer? Well, the marginal cost for beer is greater than the marginal value, and we're producing too much beer. And on this side, what's going on? The marginal value for pizza is larger than the marginal cost for pizza. And we're not producing, here we're producing too much pizza, here we're producing not enough pizza. So again, our conclusion here is that point C is not allocatively efficient. And point A is allocatively efficient. Why? Because we have equalization of marginal cost and marginal value for our beer market, and equalization of our marginal cost and marginal value for our pizza market. And that concludes our video on allocative efficiency. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.